DJGamers.com.
Well, the idea behind it was developed by members of Flare Technology. It was a company that was formed by Martin Brennan and John Matheson. Um, these guys claimed that they could make a console that was better than the Genesis and the SNES and could be cheap. So, what they do,
Don't think so.
um, they had worked on something called the Conix multi-system. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
If you're not, I'm sure we'll hear about it.
Conix was a computer peripheral company. They made joysticks. They were kind of, I don't know, they wanted to make their own system. They wanted to go from accessories to making their own system. And they had these two work on the Conix multi-system. So, they didn't really get that launched. So, what ended up coming out of that is these guys, Atari had saw what these guys were doing, and they went to them to make the Jaguar. The guy's name...
The
guy's name.
Which guy are we talking about?
I don't know which guy we're talking about. I lost track. I was watching you fly around.
And crash into things.
Yeah, pretty much. But anyways, they had done their work on that, so Atari persuaded them to close their company and form a new company called Flare 2. Which basically is like, oh, well, you're not the same company, you're two.
Wow.
And Atari gave them the money to do that. The idea was that they were going to work on two consoles. They started working two different consoles at the same time. One was supposed to be a 32-bit system, and one was supposed to be a 64-bit system. They both had code names that were named after large cats. 32-bit was a panther. The 64-bit was Jaguar. Obviously, we know which one came to market.
The Jaguar.
I want to know what people were thinking of back then, because Sega did the same thing. They were naming their systems after planets. Atari was naming theirs after cats. What was the plan here?
Agreed.
So, are you enjoying this game, Luke?
It's okay.
Would you like to switch to something else?
Sure,
Or should we talk about Cybermorph some more?
You can give me all the information you want to on Cybermorph. I will partake of it.
Okay.
However, if you want to stop, I'm not opposed to that. Ooh.
There really isn't much to say about the game outside of the fact that it was a packing game. Ow. There is a possibility that this might have been a Panther game.
Oh, really?
That
Maybe.
could be why it looks like crap.
Yeah. It just so happens that they really liked it.
Yeah.
And they decided to,
I think that might be a case with a lot of the launch Jaguar games. Because I think Checkered Flag might have been like that too. Because we'll show you that here in a little bit, and it does not look any better. Welcome, everybody, to a New Gen Gamers Console Wars of the Past. I'm Ray.
I'm Luke.
And today we are taking a look at the Atari Jaguar.
Which also happened to have a counterpart named the Panther.
The Panther?
The Panther. It was a 32-bit system. My bad. I got caught up in the voices. Oh.
Well, they have a 64-bit system that looks like a 32-bit system, so I could see where the confusion comes in.
Really?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I could understand because some of the previous consoles that actually look better than this, and it scares the poop out of me.
What other consoles look better?
Well, no.
And why are we talking in these accents?
I don't know. Do we need to start over?
No, we're just gonna play, but...
Okay, my bad. Got carried away. Oh,
Pro tip
apparently
number 2, Luke.
There's this pod that just drags me places, and that's how I get around.
Suspension of disbelief, dude.
Look, this is not a horror movie. This is not a trauma film.
No, it's a video game. Like, those are supposed to be more realistic.
Oh, you may have a point.
A green head just told you something.
You're right. It's told me to avoid the ground before. You know that.
Land straight to avoid bailing.
Right. Pretty much.
So, we are taking a look at Cybermorph. This was one of the launch titles and the pack-in game for the Jaguar. It's also one of its more well-known titles, just because most people that owned a Jaguar had this game, being as it was the pack-in. The idea here is to go around and collect the little pods, as Luke is going to attempt to do here. There we go. And the green head gives him an A-OK.
Yep.
And then after that, you go and get
Because
into
we're off
your
to
little
see
gates
the wizard.
and go on to the next level. It's pretty simplistic gameplay. It's fun. It's easy to hop into. I mean, there's only a few buttons to the A button, which would be C on a Genesis controller. They're backwards, as you saw during our console overview. Is the speed up. That's the speed up, and then the C is the slow down.
Yes, indeedy.
And B fires. As you know, the Jaguar controller also has the wonderful number pad. Would you like to demonstrate what those buttons do, Luke? In a second.
Or I could die.
Or you could die. And continue shooting the thing in front of you. You know,
There
I
was
bet
a
if you
thing
came at
there.
that from the other angle, you might be alright. Now, would you like to demonstrate the keypad buttons?
Sure.
This is what 1 does. This is what 2 does. 3.
This is what 1 does. This is what 2 does. 3, 4. Ooh, 4 actually does something. What's that all about?
Sorry, we also don't have the overlay for this game. Yes, the Atari
that
Jaguar.
is what 6 does. This is what 5 does. Oh, that's a good button right there. I'm gonna remember that one. This is what 7 does. Wow.
So different camera angles.
Yeah.
That would have helped out.
Actually, that's the only different camera angle. So, what about... 5 brings us back. Alright, well, 5 is interesting and good for us. It's useful.
It kind of recenters.
That's what 8 does, which...
Another camera angle.
Actually, I think it shape morphs you somehow.
No.
Or are you looking at it from the front?
You're looking at it from the other angle.
Ah.
And then 9.
9 takes you out the other side. Let's go
Okay.
back to 5.
What
and
does pound?
No, it's asterisk first.
Oh, asterisk. Okay.
Then 0.
Okay.
We'll go back up to 5. And now we're going to do pound. Just
Okay.
like I pounded your mom last night.
Leave my mom out of this.
But your mom enjoys being in it.
Would you go through the fucking gate already?
Yes.
That took way too long to demonstrate.
I don't think this one is as good as the last one. What do you think?
What?
The one where the computer just shut down on us.
Well, I don't know. If you keep talking about things that happen outside the commentary, we might have to scrap it.
What are you trying
We're supposed to be telling a story here, Captain.
What are you trying to tell me? I'm not supposed to Deadpool that much?
You're breaking the fourth wall like nobody's business. Hi, folks. Apparently we're having a direct conversation right now.
Shall I go in and do the Autobahn, or have we had enough of this?
Would you like to do the Autobahn?
It's either that or the Codex.
Would we like to talk more about this game?
I don't know, you tell me.
Sure.
Alright.
Hop into a level. Let's show this puppy off. Show off the fantastic graphics of the Atari Jaguar.
Well, I mean, for this being designed for the Panther, the 32-bit console that we were talking about before,
yeah,
this actually is not that bad. And if you take into account
it came out late 93, too.
It is one of the first...
There wasn't a lot of 3D games on the market at that time.
It is one of the first 3D games. So,
it is
in a
fully
sense, the fact that it's 3D alone makes it a pioneer.
Right.
It doesn't really need the textures that you're going to find on lots of the other 3D games that came out.
There's a wall there.
That's a lie. The wall is a lie. That came out maybe a year or two later.
I agree with that. I would say this would be a very, very, very early PlayStation game. But it turns out it's a very, very early Jaguar game.
Yeah.
Could you stop hitting the wall?
I'm trying to get the dooflicky.
Oh, yeah, and it also has voice work.
Yeah,
if
that
you
is...
haven't noticed.
How did I miss that?
I have no idea.
Wowza.
But yeah, I mean, it was innovative for its time. But
did you hear that?
It really hasn't...
She just asked me where I learned to fly. What academy did I go to?
What academy did you go to?
I don't know. But, I mean, consider the voice work. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
She's given me sass. How often do you actually get the sass back in the video game?
Yeah, especially on a cartridge-based system.
Yeah.
Because there were some games on the Sega CDs. The Sega CD, all it did was give you sass.
Where did I learn to fly? You tell me. Because I haven't played this game before, but obviously...
You missed the gate.
I know.
Okay.
Ooh, missed it again. I thought it was low enough.
No, you have to take it a little bit lower. Alright. Well, we're going to take a look at our next game. So, we'll be right back.
Look at that pod fly me away. No thrusters or anything, just... Boom! Must be magnetics or something.
It's magic.
Oh, right. I didn't realize we had magic in this day and age.
I must warn you about Jaguar, a new video game system too powerful for home use. Unlike Nintendo and Sega with only 16 bits of power, Jaguar by Atari gives you 64 bits of mega power. Clear the room and I'll be back for adults only. Are we alone? Look! Jaguar by Atari is the only video game system with 64 bits of awesome power. This irresponsible action into the living rooms of our young people! Get bit by Jaguar.
UJ Gamers.com.